annihilation today, ladies and gents. Bitcoin has dropped by a little bit, but these altcoins have died overnight. I mean, this is ridiculous. Let me just zoom out and put this in perspective for you. The last time we've seen this level of a catastrophic dump, 45% within just 2 weeks, it was these big crashes back here, and this was summer of last year. This is when Bitcoin fell down to the $20,000 level for the first time in like a year and a half or so. It was on this big drop right here. Not a happy time, guys. It was around this kind of time. We are seeing the same kind of price action right now. So there's a lot to break down. There are a ridiculous number of trading opportunities that have opened themselves up today, so I'm going to be covering it all with you in this YouTube video right here. Make sure you smash up those likes as we come in here, and I do want to highlight to you guys that the best place to be trading all of these markets for me has always been the links in the description down below. I just want to show these to you right here and highlight them. bingx with the first link in the description will allow you to trade these markets without doing any KYC, and you also have access to all sorts of traditional finance markets, which I can't show you right now, but that does include, trading Tesla, Apple, the S&P 500 and so on. Very privacy-minded exchange, lots of options worth checking out, and Bybit is definitely just going to be the best crypto exchange out there with up to $30,000 in deposit bonuses as well. So when you start depositing and trading using my link, they will give you up to 30k in free money for you to trade with, which is absolutely crazy. Any profits are yours to keep. But let's get back into this analysis and cover the actual implications of this, because this is huge. I mean, altcoins have just plummeted below key support levels, and I've shown you Matic so far, but here's Cardano. Here's Cardano against Bitcoin, because that's interesting too. Here's Solana. If we take a quick look at this, I mean, it doesn't matter what chart you're looking at, we have fallen below all of our bullish kind of setups, and we've fallen down to, in some cases, our final areas of support. In other cases, we've fallen below these final areas of support, and it's Pepe is at a stunning level. I mean, honestly, this in itself is a buy. I mean, Pepe is for me is something that I told you I've been interested in at this level for a very long time, and the difference between me and the people who hold these coins while they drop is that I like to buy them low and sell them when they're high, and most people would rather buy them up here when it's fun and sexy, and then they'd rather sell it here to me because they're panicking. So this in and of itself is a potentially interesting trading opportunity, just because it's down to a really nice big area of support. And I do want to highlight that this coin is tradable on Bybit and bingx as well, both with leverage. Obviously, you've got good liquidity on both as well, otherwise I wouldn't be interested in it. So this is definitely one of the coins that looks like it's just at a really nice support area. But this video isn't about altcoins. I will go back to Bitcoin in a second, but what's really important is to assess this damage, because what we're seeing so far now is just super clearly that Bitcoin has dropped by a little bit, but alts have been fucking destroyed. And today still, yesterday was a weekday, right? So if we kind of recap the price action that we saw across indices and traditional finance, one thing that's really clear is that nothing crazy happened in traditional finance. The S&P 500's fine, UK 100's okay, the Nasdaq index is fine. The dollar was dropping. The dollar had initiated one of its pullbacks again, and it's recovered up a little bit, but nothing is unusual here. Even with Bitcoin, nothing is unusual here. We have just dumped by a little bit. We were stuck at resistance for a little bit. The resistance ended up giving us a rejection. We've got plenty of support down here. So, it's not that crazy, like everything that's happened to Bitcoin, but altcoins have just stolen the show here in terms of how much they've died overnight. And and this was to be expected. This is what we're expecting to see on the whole as time continues to go on, is like across the long term, these alts are losing their superiority because they're all hot air, to begin with, right? So they were never anything that people actually cared about beyond just a machine to make money. And when things start getting a little bit scary, and it looks like Bitcoin's 25k support level might collapse, which is exactly what I was warning you would happen, is that as we actually approach these price levels, people start shitting themselves. When we start approaching times like this, then yeah, people are selling their altcoins. And if we go back to that previous chart and actually take a look at the real implication of this, Bitcoin's dominance has now shot up above this resistance area once more. And those of you that have been subscribed to me for quite some time now are going to remember how much I was talking to you about this resistance level since March of this year, and potentially even earlier. So do me a favor and smash up the likes on this YouTube video. Let me know if you remember me talking about this on this channel, because it is one of the big points I was making to you guys a lot. I like to keep an eye on this kind of thing. Yes, I know it did take a while for it to actually happen. I did have to wait damn near fucking 3 months for this thing to actually finally play out. But the thing is sometimes the market just doesn't move much. And I have a really important question that I want to pose to you guys right now at this time in the market is, would you rather make 15 different fucking predictions and, you know, just lose your mind in the mess, or just make one prediction and be frustrated that it hasn't happened yet because the market isn't moving, right? Both are kind of annoying, but I'd rather be right and slow than incorrect and misfiring 15 fucking times. And that is, again, one of the big traps that people fall into. But if you keep it simple, if you keep, you know, just staying tuned to YouTube channels like this where we're grounded, we understand this game. I've seen this happen for 6 years now. You know, when I'm seeing the markets move, I've got a sense for what's going on. And we were warning you guys that, I mean, you know, dominance has stayed incredibly high for a very long time, and it doesn't really make sense, right? I mean, you know, previously, you know, these rejections off this level for Bitcoin's dominance were incredibly quick. We're on the daily time frame, and it was usually just the very next day we would initiate our drop when we got up to these highs, right? With this small exception right here. But this time, guys, I mean, I was super vocal about it. Nothing was shaking Bitcoin's dominance, and now we are shooting up. So this is one of the things that actually cleanses bear markets. You know, if you guys have been here during the 2018-19 cycle, during the you know, whatever else, you know, has been bearish with our kind of mini bear markets, one of the key characteristics of it is that Bitcoin dominance rises. And you know, you may not like what I'm about to say, but fortunately for all of us, that doesn't change reality. And it's that these altcoins are just hot air, right? So, you know, when we're kind of popping the bubble and these coins are just flooding back into Bitcoin, and this capital is flooding back into the safer asset and away from risk, that is the cleanse. That is the crypto cleanse. Now, doesn't mean that these projects right here are going to die. Probably not, guys. I mean, you know, on the whole, this is only... You know, I mean, this is only the time where cash gets deployed for smart people, you know, and I mean, shout out to those of you that have taken advantage of, you know, all the links in these descriptions. This is out of date, but you're getting over $100,000 in bonuses when you sign up to the exchanges that I'm using. And the thing is with all of these bonuses, if you've got them, if you've got the capital ready to deploy into the market with the free money that these exchanges are giving you, you know, now is the time where you start rubbing your hands together and being proud of yourself for taking that initiative, because that is a lot of extra ammunition that we're getting while the markets are falling. And I do not believe that they're dead, right? I mean, you know, it's just too hard, it's just too easy to say that these coins are dead over what, right? I mean, I'm sure that there's some catastrophic news in the space, but clearly whatever has happened hasn't affected Bitcoin very much. And this is why I think we're safe, right? I'd much rather altcoins fall off a cliff and Bitcoin holds where it is, because that tells me that at least the altcoins have a chance of recovering. I'll tell you when the altcoins don't have a chance of recovering. Altcoins don't have a chance of recovering if Bitcoin is dying. If Bitcoin is struggling, if Bitcoin is falling off a cliff, if Bitcoin is doing what altcoins are doing right now, then you definitely don't have a chance. But if Bitcoin is at least holding where it is right now, and if you've been sensible enough to not be over allocated into altcoins, which is something that I've been saying is critically important for years. I told you guys that I sold every single one of my altcoins other than a very small handful back in 2018, and I never looked back, and it is purely because of instances like this right here. These are the days that wipe you out. These are the days where you suffer a 20% loss and you're not even capable of, because like, here's the problem, right? Here's the problem with losing money that I don't know if you've even ever considered. Let me know in the comment section if you've considered it. Let me know if you haven't. Just tell me I've considered it or I haven't considered it. Is that when you lose money, when you wake up and, you know, your biggest holding after Bitcoin is Matic or Link or whatever it might be, and you've just lost 16-22% of your money just like that. And over the last few weeks, it's actually, you know, and I've shown you guys, you know, just over the last 2 weeks, this coin has halved in value, guys, 45% in 13 days. You know, I mean, this isn't a rare image. I mean, I know I'm looking at meme coins right now, but I mean, still 40% within 17 days here. You know, you can't really get away from it over here. I mean, 35% in a week. If we go another week back, 37% down for FTM. You know, and FTM. And we look at these coins from their highs. You know, down to where they were before. You know, these are some pretty big drops. Granted, FTM actually did really well, but this wasn't the peak, of course. Yeah, there we go. That makes a lot more sense. That makes. Yeah, a lot more sense. I mean, doesn't that just fully encapsulate what this crypto space is? I mean, that is it. That is just, you know, 93% down. You know, you start off with $100,000, you're down to 7,000. You're wiped out. Just go home, bro. At that point, you know, I mean, there's no, well, you know, I mean, unless you really think you're gonna do things, and I've seen people turn it around. You know, and actually do very well. I've seen my own traders in the VIP group turn that kind of thing around, but that is not easy to do, you know. And if you got yourself there in the first place, You know, I mean, what kind of trader are you? Are you able to fix that? Are you able to fix, you know, because there are people that in this time, since you've been losing all this money, there are people that have been making money, you know, and that's a really big, you know, you've got to go from here all the way to here. Can you do that? Can you make that much of a mindset change? A lot of people can, but a lot of people, you know, they need to have some really honest conversations with themselves about where they put their time and their money. And, you know, the ultimate cost with, you know, waking up and seeing that you're down by half in 2 weeks is that now you're scared. It's that now the market's moving, the market is giving beautiful opportunities, and you are a shell of who you were 2 weeks ago. Your confidence is fucked. You're thinking about how hard it is to break even. You're just not in the right place, and it's a bad, you know, and like, I'm speaking about this with so much accuracy because I've been there so many times, right? I mean, like, I have literally been, if that's you, I've been in your shoes more times than I can count, and it frustrated the shit out of me, just constantly getting wiped out and losing all of my money, and that's why I kind of fixed up and became, like, the guy I am now, which is just, like, you know, just you know, came out from that, turned into a butterfly, and now flying away, and that's just, you know, that's who I want to be, and it all comes down to these trading opportunities in the market. So you guys already know I share, you know, everything that I do in real time with my VIP members. The steps to join are on screen right now, just following these links in the description down below. They are right here in the description, puts you in a direct chat with me, and you can get yourself inside the group. You know, but I do want to outline kind of what I'm looking at, and again, it's the support area here at 25k. It still stands, and the really good news is that, yeah, just over these next few days, if we do kind of come down just a little bit lower, this is going to be the very bottom of the Ichimoku clouds. So, you know, one of the big things I was talking to you guys about is that it's quite clear that momentum has dissipated, right? We were previously dropping very quickly. Now we're dropping a little bit less slowly. I'm sorry, a little bit less quick. We're not dropping down as quickly anymore, which is a potentially a good indication of the market kind of losing momentum to the downside, right? Because we're trading down and we're losing momentum, so that might be a sign that momentum's going to switch. And you know, I mean, this is happening at a good time. There's still, I mean, you know, there's diagonal support here, there's horizontal support here, there's Ichimoku support here, there's I'm sure there's like a 200-week moving average or something. Let me just check that real quick. Maybe not. I think the 200-week moving average is a little bit higher. Let's take a very quick look at that because I'm curious. Yeah, so the 200-week moving average is right here. It sits at about 26.3. So we are like $700 below that, you know, in all fairness, which isn't great. You know, but we're still kind of holding on generally. I think the big problem here for this chart is that it's a Saturday. And this is gonna close this way. This weekly candle is gonna close. I mean, anything can change, right? There is still a whole day left and 8 hours on top of that, so it still, you know, could go the other way. But I mean, you know, the very beginning of this week we saw you know, quite a drop down, you know, basically to the same level. That was the beginning of this week on Monday, and now we're back down here on Saturday. You know, really the only thing that's happened is in this short-term market, we've just kind of come up and found more resistance and now dropped back down. And unfortunately, this is one of the kind of setups that is, you know, your kind of obvious indication that you're probably going to dump down even more, you know, when you kind of... I've covered this with you guys so many times, so you're going to be quite familiar with this now, is when you've set a low and then you kind of come up and spend a little bit of time and then you come back down to the same low again. It's usually the second time that you just kind of trade sideways and then collapse. And you know, if that is going to happen, you know, and we take a look at what that means for Bitcoin, now it's definitely going to be ugly. It's definitely not going to be pleasant, you know, for people to sit through. And one of the things that that I'm going to be quite eager to watch is the Fear and Greed Index, the long and short ratio, as that kind of picture continues to develop. Fear and Greed Index right now at 49, but it hasn't had a chance to update yet. It's going to update in about 8 hours, which is a really long time from now. So we're probably going to see quite a different reading here. We're finally going to be seeing these numbers reset. We might see the Bitcoin long and short ratio reset a little bit as well. It is coming back down to a more reasonable place. Top traders are still long, guys. Top traders are still long. I am still long. You know, I've been telling you guys about this position as time has gone on. I'm still in the same position, guys. I've had no reason to close it. My stop loss has been at 23.7 for an incredibly long time. We haven't hit this level, so I'm okay. I might move that stop loss. I might not. I don't know. I've made so much money on this position already that I'm incredibly happy with it. Super, super satisfied. And I still believe that we're bullish. And that is still a position that I hold. I mean, you know, the only thing that's happened, really, the only different thing that's happened now is that altcoins have been smashed and Bitcoin's dominance has risen. But if you look at Bitcoin's actual position on this chart, okay, super short term, this is bad, this is concerning, yes, but I mean, you know, we haven't broken a new support level. We haven't, you know, set a new lower low. We haven't, you know, whatever. I mean, it's just not, you know, we haven't done anything bad yet. I mean, you know, yes, we didn't recover, but you know, we haven't fallen below 25k. Like, nothing has actually changed for Bitcoin, but you look at the altcoin image and it's very clear, you know, key levels have been lost across the board. And guys, there are so many things that I'm interested in trading here. There's honestly not enough time for me to cover it, and I don't even know if I'm going to have enough time to cover it on the second channel for altcoins. But come here, check this channel out if you haven't done so already. That is where I'm going to be right after this YouTube video, and then inside of the VIP group to inform you guys of every kind of position that I'm looking to take, or why I might not, and so on and so forth. So definitely make sure that you are staying tuned to the VIP channel if you're inside of it already. That's where I will be very shortly after this, because there is just kind of too much to talk about and there's too much going on. You know, but for me, it's probably, you know, like one of the best positions to take at times like this, in my experience, are usually like, you know, the positions up here, and then you play the short, something like that. And the reason for that is, you know, we're already in a downtrend. We've been in a downtrend on this coin, for example, since February of this year, and you know, now we're in June, so it's been a good 4 months. So you know, there's definitely been enough time here to you know, tell that we are in a downtrend. So if we get these kind of reaction rallies back up to resistance levels, you know, like this one, for example, I was hoping that we get back up to the $1 level, but we kind of missed it. We only hit 95. And, you know, so this is what I'm talking about, is you kind of play these reaction rallies during bear trends, and that works out pretty well typically. For Bitcoin, it's a slightly difficult, you know, it's a slightly more difficult kind of conversation, because Bitcoin's structure is still pretty bullish. Bitcoin is still coming into this range from an uptrend. You know, these altcoins, it's very clear, are the complete opposite, right? I mean, they have, you know, they've had their uptrend, but they've now reset all of it as well and come down to major lows, right? So the other kind of positions that are pretty interesting is you kind of mark a low like this, and then you look at, you know, potentially trading a short position like just below the low, right? So somewhere a little bit like here, look to enter a short position and then just ride it down. These are pretty risky. You know, you need to really know what you're doing for these kind of positions. So you know, they are probably my favorite. They're definitely one of my favorite. This Bitcoin trade that I made, where I made all this cash, was kind of, I kind of took that approach. I didn't, because I was there when it happened, and I entered this long position because banks were collapsing. I think it was like First Republic Bank collapsed, and then I decided to enter this position, or maybe it was Signature, I can't remember. I was just having a shisha with the bros in Dubai, to be honest with you guys, and the bank collapsed, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is Bitcoin's time, you know. I mean, this is exactly what we were waiting for, and I was like, there we go, hit that long, you know. And it was a similar kind of energy to what I just described for that short position, you know, and like I was trading the same kind of idea, you know, but the execution was slightly different. But the point of it is, those trades, the reason that they work so well is you're literally just kind of waiting for momentum to show itself to you. So you're not doing anything, which is good, because you're keeping your money safe if you're not doing anything. You're waiting for pardon me guys, for the momentum to show itself to you, and then you're just waiting for a safe place to enter, you know. Like, you're just kind of like, the momentum's just going like a train, and you're just kind of standing on the side and getting ready to jump on it, like when the train comes by you. That's our approach here. And so yeah, we're gonna miss like the first 30, 20, 40% of the ride maybe, but the last 60%, if we're applying a little bit of leverage, it doesn't really matter if we missed it, right? Like, if you're only getting the last 10% of the rally, but you're trading it with 10 times leverage, that's still a 100% profit. That still doubles your money. So, you know, it's much better than the 10% gain. And, you know, if 10% is the last half of the rally, then, you know, the total gain you would have gotten was 20%. We're still outpacing that just because we've applied leverage. So, you know, that's my approach. I don't know why I'm saying we. I'm talking about me here. You know, that's my approach with my trading. You know, and that's why I'm not too worried about, you know, being late, or I'm not too worried about, like, you know, did I miss this move? Did I, you know, whatever, like that kind of, you know, I don't need to think like that, because I know that, like, the money will come, and it's just a case of, like, you know, I'm just kind of chilling, you know, in all honesty, I'm just chilling. I'm just kind of kicked back, you know, waiting for the market to come to me, kind of thing. And, you know, I know that sounds a little bit boring, and, you know, you just want to get in, you know, you're seeing the volatility, you're seeing the price action, you're like, I could have traded this, I could have made this money, but first of all, that doesn't work, and you've probably already figured that out a little bit. Hopefully, now you can just put it to rest, because you're just killing yourself and your capital. But secondly, because there are so many opportunities, you really don't need to get them all. You only need to get one or two of them, and you'll make all your money. And you don't need to keep trading, because you'll probably just lose your money if you and I've said this a million times, right? If you look at like the average trader, like in crypto, and you just tell that person to trade less, they will probably make more money in the next 6 months. They'll probably lose less money, and they'll probably make more profits. If you just tell this person, trade less, you made 50 trades in the last 2 months, this month, these next 2 months, make 5 trades, make 10 trades. If you drop it down that much, what are you going to do? You're going to be a lot more careful about where you put your money, right? You're just, if you're going from 50 down to 10, you're going to have to pick your trades a little bit more carefully. You're going to have to pick the top 10. So it works, it's simple and boring, and that's exactly why most people won't do it, and that's exactly why we have made so many successes inside of the VIP group, because we understand that it's boring, and we actually like that. I outwardly praise the nature of this style of trading being very boring, being very unsexy. That is exactly what I want it to be. I want you to join my VIP group and be bored as fuck, but make money. And if that sounds interesting to you, then there you go. These are the steps on screen right here with the links in the description. If you want to get all these bonuses, check them out with these links in the description down below. I will say it again. I want you to join my VIP group, and I want the result of it to be that you become bored as fuck, but that you make money. I cannot stress that enough. That is the best way to make money as a trader. And I'll tell you why. It's because I say this in the very first welcome video when you join. You want to save all of your highs. You want to save all of your excitement for real life. In trading, you are sensible, you are calm, you are collected, you are doing it like a textbook analyst that has been trained by the greatest. You do not want to disappoint them. You are following the path that has been laid for you by success stories in the past. And in real life, you get the Ferrari. And that's how it's fun, and that's how it works. And you're hearing me talk about it, and it makes complete sense. It just has to be this way. You can't get swept away by this kind of thing and then still be a successful trader. It just won't happen. But if we move it back to the charts here, talk about where we are. Like I said, I mean, these majors are doing a lot better. I mean, Ethereum is only in a beautiful area of support right now. Honestly, its biggest area of support on the chart, its most significant level. I don't want to see Ethereum losing this level. That would mean dropping below kind of 1700. I do not want to see Ethereum fall below 1700. We are at 1740 right now, so we are pretty close. If that does happen, then to me, that does mean that this support area has failed, and that does mean that we potentially need to fall down to the next critical area of support, which is not here, but it's probably actually going to be all the way down here with some of these green lines here. So, and honestly, it could be as low as here, like the $1,000 area of support. So it is quite a drop for Ethereum. If that did end up happening, there is some potential for a double bottom. I'm just talking about like the macro support. Obviously, one of the big things that I think are possible, and I've been saying this since we were up at the top, is that coins like, I've been saying this for Bitcoin. It's a little bit easier to show you. Is coins like Bitcoin, they have phenomenal support down at 24, for example. Like there is just so much reason for Bitcoin to capture some support here because of its deviation plays, right? Bitcoin, Bitcoin's love language is deviations. This is what I've been saying to you guys for an incredibly long period of time. Look at this beautiful area of support. Look at how we deviate below it and then skyrocket to the upside. Look at this resistance level at $30,000 flat. We deviate above it and then we come back down. This is just how Bitcoin behaves. And so, if our support level is here and then Bitcoin drops down to here, it's just, perfectly playing into what Bitcoin does. And I've shown you this before, but I do want to take a moment just to show you this again, guys, because I think you're really going to appreciate it. Is an example of Bitcoin back in 2017. So let's just go ahead and smash this in here so I can show you what happened in 2017. And it's all to do with this price action right here. It was actually this exact move. So I'm just going to replay the chart for you, show you exactly what happened. You can kind of see where I'm going here. I mean, Bitcoin set a brand new all-time high. It crashed down. It consolidated. When you enter these kind of consolidation zones, if you've studied page 1, chapter 1 of any TA book, you're going to know that, these kind of symmetrical triangles are usually continuation patterns, right? And if the trend is up and you continue the trend, that probably means that you move up again. But what happened? We dumped out of it. And we didn't just dump out of it for one day, and we didn't just dump out of it for 8, 9, 10%. We dumped out of it the next day. Then we even had a recovery to give us some hope. This recovery gave it a little bit of hope that actually maybe this was just, I don't know, a glitch, and then we're back up. And then the dump just got way more intense, and from this little bit of hope, we crashed down by another quarter. We lose another quarter of value. I mean, it's huge. I mean, at this point, from the all-time high, we've already lost 20%. I know that it doesn't sound like too much, but if you're in the moment, guys, you just got to take it from me. If you haven't lived through this, if you're in the moment, this kind of thing is not comfortable. And then what do we see? The dump just continues even more. And this is just how Bitcoin behaved. It turned out that Bitcoin was actually incredibly bullish, and I mean, the rest is history. We've never been down this low ever again. Even on the crash of 2018, 2019, when we fell down to $3,000, we didn't come anywhere near this low. Right, we came down to 3.1, and this high was 2.9, 3K. So we didn't even get down there, and then the market's just flying. When we came back down to the 3K range again in 2020 from the March coronavirus crash, again, nothing happened. We fell down to 3.8. We didn't come down to that low. That move set history, and I mean, I'm not saying that we're in the same situation right now, but what I am saying is that it would be very typical of Bitcoin to just get a little flash crash, and then, that's it, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe, the little flash crash turns into a bigger problem, but, with traditional finance still looking as bullish as it is, with altcoins cleansing, one of the other things that happens is if Bitcoin crashes like this, altcoins get weaker. But if altcoins have been suffering for a long time and then Bitcoin starts to rally, altcoins just get even weaker after that, right? And the reason that that's happening is, again, we really need to understand why people are in these markets. People are in the crypto market because they want to make money, because they want to make profit, because they want to get richer. And so as soon as altcoins don't look like a good machine for doing that, people drop altcoins. And as soon as Bitcoin looks like a good machine for doing that, people buy Bitcoin. And so the cycle goes like this. In my experience, is that altcoins get weaker when Bitcoin gets weaker, and then when Bitcoin rallies, the spotlight stays on Bitcoin. So altcoins don't move, but Bitcoin rallies, and as a result of that, altcoins get weaker. And we see that because Bitcoin dominance rises and so on and so forth. So, this is the cycle that we've seen many times. Is it going to play out now? Obviously, I don't know. I can't see the future, but we've got that setup right now. We've got all the same factors that we need that still go in our favor. We're still in an uptrend. We're still correcting. We've had a phenomenal rally up. I mean, just absolutely huge leg up here, and now we are correcting. And is it possible that the trend can continue a little bit like this? Well, the very good news is that we've already been doing that. So if you believe in Elliott waves, there's an Elliott wave for you. This is actually a perfect Elliott wave, by the way. I haven't covered Elliott waves since like 2018. So you guys who are watching, who care about Elliott waves, you're probably going to be a lot better at this than me. But I'm curious to hear what you think about my, maybe I still got it. Maybe I can still draw a good Elliott wave formation for you. I don't know. I should be drawing it off this low, but I'm going to do it off this low. Let me know in the comments. Have I drawn my Elliott wave well? You know what I really like about this Elliott wave is that the second to third wave is huge. It's actually bigger. So we should probably say, yeah, let's just draw it from here. This middle wave here is the biggest one, which is it's correct. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Elliott wave experts. And so it really does fit the narrative here. And then like a 35k Bitcoin, maybe, we're all hoping for 40, we just get 35. I don't know, maybe that's how it works. Then we get that Elliott correctional wave, the first leg down to, I don't know, let's say this same area of support, kind of find some resistance up here at the same area of resistance, fall down to maybe, let me just move the chart. Maybe we fall down to, I don't know, like this low down here at 21.5, and that's our correction, and it just looks like absolute disaster. We get the head and shoulders pattern. We've already had an inverse head and shoulders, and then we get the normal head and shoulders, and the Binance noobs, start touching themselves over it, and and by this time it's halving time, and then bam, we've had a year of doing nothing. We've had some beautiful trading ranges. Altcoins have been destroyed. Altcoins have probably had an alt season afterwards. It's just everything that is lively in a market. So there we go, guys. That's an interesting little summary on what I'm looking for. If you have enjoyed this video, you know exactly what to do. Check out all the bonuses available to you with the links in the description down below. Over $100,000. Like I said, this is out of date, but huge bonuses available to you. No KYC, very privacy-minded exchange if you are interested in that kind of thing. And of course, also access to all the traditional finance markets that we can't typically trade in crypto, all from a Bitcoin deposit. Super cool with leverage as well. Bybit. still it is the standard in the crypto space. It is the go-to for serious traders that care about their money beyond the Binance noobs. No hate against them, obviously, but it's just not the place that most of the really, really turned on pros go. You just can't use platforms like Binance if you're trading like that. But Bybit has been that home. It's been my home for many years as a trader, and with up to 30k in bonuses as well. You have got a phenomenal incentive to check it out, or even if you want to get the bonus and you already have an account, you can make a brand new one as well. 0% spot trading fees too, so you can buy and sell altcoins completely free as well. You can buy crypto for the first time if you haven't done so already. If somehow you've made it to the end of this video and you don't even own any crypto, you can do that on Bybit as well. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys in VIP right after this, and yeah, take it easy. Cheers. Bye.